evening, everybody, and welcome to the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League here on CIH Media. We got a Varsity Division 3 game for you here tonight as the Inland Empire United Wolverines take on the Damien Spartans. So glad you could join us on a Thursday night, everyone. My name is Eric Pesolano. Christian Hilton is along for the ride, bringing you the sights and sounds and that wonderful color commentary of yours. Christian, couple teams here. Wolverines won their first 2 games of the season over Central Cathedral and Capistrano United. They look good right out of the gate. Damien lost in a shootout to Orange Lutheran, so a tough one. They do have a point in the standings, but they'll be looking for their first win here tonight.
Yes, and much like you, some of these players participating in the second game of the night, they might be a little more winded than you, actually, depending on how intense the broadcast got. Maybe you were a little more winded than them, but we'll see how much that plays a factor. Probably shorter lines, shorter shifts, trying to get these kids out there staying healthy, but also competitive in the action.
I'm always winded, Christian.
Okay, then.
So the JV teams played a little bit earlier tonight. You saw that on CIH Media. I did call the first 2 periods. Doug Peacock took over for the third because I had to come over for this one. Hey, we make it work. That's how we roll around here. The Spartans JV team won 6-1 over Inland Empire United. They got their first win of the season. They are now 1-3 on the year. And for the Wolverines JV team, they are now 0-2. But here up at the varsity level, things looking good for this D3 squad. We'll see if any of those players come over here and take part in this particular game. Usually that's the case. The game over there did just end, so we'll see if they're actually holding for a little bit to get these players over here and make sure that they are eligible. Damien meeting in front of their bench. The Wolverines are ready to go. They've got everybody out on the ice. Carson McDonald is between the pipes for the Wolverines in this game, and on the other side, Jacob Lamb will take it for the Spartans. We'll get you their numbers in just a little bit as these 2 teams get settled in. The thing I'm most happy about, there are a lot more Damien varsity players with numbers on their backs than there were in the JV game. We're ready to go as Lamb gets stood up right out of the gate, and there's your first shot on goal. It goes to the Wolverines. The Spartans had the first shot on goal in the JV game just a little bit ago, as Harris sends this one up ahead and around the wall, and Spartans will go to work offensively. Cameron Figueroa down there for the Spartans as well. And there's one player on the ice who does not have a number on the back of the jersey, so hopefully that player will score, get an assist, something, and be identified on the online score sheet. You can follow along with live scoring at ADHSHL.com. As a matter of fact, as Duran has that one go off his stick, Seth Harris picks it back up. Or excuse me, Sean Harris rather picks that one back up. Goes to the outlet here to the near side. Racing back the other way as this one is backhanded deep into the Wolverine zone. Cross-ice pass to Duran as he turns around and sends it up ahead. Loose puck in the middle of the zone. Oh, diving attempt there to try to knock it out. And it did break up the play rather nicely by John Ruggiero, as he'll track this one down as well up against Chris Hodgson. Ruggiero sends it around the wall. Duran over there to go pick it up. Adrian, though, can't quite get it back out. It was slapped at toward the net. McDonald gloves it down. Had that gone in, it would not have counted because it was a delayed offside here against the Spartans. But we're good to go now. Here's Yates who takes over. He tries to bring it in, but a good check by Caden Roloff to knock it away. And Roloff takes it back here for the Wolverines. He gets away from a couple of green sweaters and moves it up to center. Here's Roloff as he moves along inside the zone with his teammate in Calvin Ruggiero. And this one comes along near side wall. Hodgson, oh, big shoulder to shoulder. He goes right there with Preston Flanders. Yates, a little tap into the middle. Here comes Pritchett. And getting knocked around a little bit in the middle was Nolan. Taken away by a roll-off again. And puck near side. Here's Roderasio. And that one knocked all the way back down to Damien's side. High flying action here between these 2 teams in the first 2.5 minutes of this opening period.
Yeah, direct 2.5 minutes. There hasn't been a stoppage yet.
No. Oh, that one's loose. The goaltender didn't quite cover it, and now it's chopped around into the near side wall. McDonald had some trouble, but his teammate's there to help out, and this shot goes off of Roderasio and picked up over in the far corner by Anthony Saliba.
And we're crouching up on 3 full minutes of play. since the puck drop. And wow, this is something you don't see all that often.
This is why there's a possibility that you won't see the ice cut immediately after the 8.5 minute mark in Varsity Division 1 this year. It could take a minute.
Or 3.
You and I should set an over-under as this play is ruled offside. And there you go. We got a whistle.
Over-under's
done. Do you
so.
think any Varsity Division 1 game will make it all the way to the second intermission for an ice cut?
No. I would say no.
I would agree with that, actually. But you know it's going to happen now.
Well, if there's 8.5 minutes of straight play, then
good on them.
then there'll be an ice cut.
Yeah, speaking of winded.
You'll have plenty of time to breathe.
Knocked away. There's Calvin Ruggiero, his shot off the mark. Lamb lets it go by. Jacob Lamb, 3.53 goals against average, and only 1 game played so far this year.
And Lamb hasn't really had much to worry about since that opening shot that came, 3 seconds off the faceoff, it felt like. So he's been active, but hasn't really had to worry about it.
Carson McDonald, 2.35 goals against average in his first 2 games. That one comes through, that's knocked away by McDonald. Another one in on the glove, and he'll cover it up. And he's got 3 quick saves here. With 13:37 to go in the first period. Don't forget, if you want to watch this game again later on, you go to CIH-media.com/premium and sign up for a monthly subscription, which is $10, or a yearly subscription, which is $75. And you'll get access to every game we've ever covered on CIH Media in both the ADHSHL and the LA Kings High School Hockey League as well. So head to CIH-media.com/premium today. Loose in the middle. And this one here picked up by Eric Collender, who sends it up ahead, gets it right back and tried a shot, but had it tipped off his stick by Sean Harris. Loose in the middle again. Saliba going to track it down with Harris sticking to him like white on rice. The Hersey slaps it over into the far wall, and now Figueroa with a nice slot pass into the middle for Yates, but that one is broken up. Again, a little bit of a back check there by Collender. Roderosio tries to track it down. Yates is going to get there first into the middle. He's got a man, and that one broken up. Figueroa unable to pull the trigger. Stolen away at the blue line. Shot comes through, blocking the side once again by Carson McDonald. McDonald played one of the first 2 games this year for Inland Empire United. Adrian Ortega, who played the junior varsity game earlier tonight and suffered the loss, got some time in the other game for the Wolverines this season. Morshager turned it over. His shot comes through, and that one buckled on Lamb a little bit, but he's got himself his second save of the evening to keep this thing scoreless here after 4 3/4 minutes.
Yeah, Inland Empire United really needs to get some more opportunities. It has been heavily tilting towards Damien, getting those shots off. Nothing made it through yet, but I think that the Inland Empire's goaltender finally enjoying some breathing time down on the other end.
Time to settle in, relax a little bit. He's done good here, though, in this first period, stopping all 4 he's faced. Chet trying to poke it along. It pops up in the air. Casey Brooks down there for the Wolverines. Roloff able to keep this one in. Caden sends it around the wall. Spartans trying to get there first, and they do. And that little pass through traffic is knocked down by Jeremy Liu. Here's Calvin Ruggiero again as he tries to skate on by Alexander Hughes, but not much space to go anywhere. Here's Brooks again. Underneath, Hughes gets it back. And as the Spartans turn around, they want to move up ice. Right in front of their bench, Sporshager and Liu battle for possession. Wolverines come out with it. Calvin Ruggiero knocked off his tape. Soren Patel will send it around here for the Spartans. And now again over on the far side. Lots of action between these 2 teams in the passing department. They are moving the puck very well here in this first period. Chet and Hodgson giving Fitz to roll off. And eventually Hodgson, the associate captain for Damien, will send it around the wall. Bouncing pass up toward the blue line. Taken away here, this is Luke Tanner. Tanner with some space, he went up high with it, but even too tall for Lamb. Around the dasher it comes, both teams there first was Jacob McCauley. Comes back to the Damien zone, now up at neutral ice. John Ruggiero trying to slap it away. A couple of green sweaters in the area, and Harris has it bounce off of him, and it's the middle of some traffic. And we got a penalty coming up here against Inland Empire United as Legaska goes down. So Ethan draws the trip, and Luke Tanner is going to go sit down for 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be a big opportunity for Damien, who's already had the edge here tonight. Now going to have that man up. We'll see if they're able to capitalize here. And Lamb going to enjoy a break now here. He's had a little bit more action in the past couple minutes.
One power play goal on the year for the Spartans. That was the only goal they scored against Orange Lutheran in that loss back on September the 10th. And it was a Cameron Figueroa goal as this one comes through and hits a pad. And we got another penalty coming here, and this might go against the Spartans in the middle. As Harris touched it, the whistle sounded, and I think Legaska, who drew the penalty 18 seconds ago, is going to be the guilty party here.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a short-lived power play for Damien, and now we'll get a little bit of 4-on-4 action before a, albeit short, opportunity, if nothing else happens in between now and then, for the Inland Empire United Wolverines. But a game that's been a little bit chippy, a little bit back and forth. Now all of a sudden both teams find themselves in the penalty box, but nobody up on that scoreboard yet.
It's 4-on-4, Christian.
You know, I was going to refrain from saying it, but now that you've completely set me up for it, there's a lot of open ice out there, Eric.
I'll get you a t-shirt with that on.
It is.
Here comes the show up. Carter in toward the net. That hit the outside of the goal frame, and he bolts over the goaltender McDonald. And I'm thinking the defender Collender had a lot to do with that as well. And all three players get up. Looks like everybody's okay, so that's great news. But a save for McDonald, maybe. I'm not sure if he touched it before it hit the outside of the net. I don't think he did, so no shot there. But that sometimes can turn into a dangerous situation. Luckily this time it didn't.
Yeah, and that's the one thing you're worried about whenever you see a collision with the goaltender is, I mean, you've seen it where somebody bumps another player, whether it's the goaltender or another player making contact with that goalpost or whatever it might be. Luckily, the goalposts in this league or the goals that they use a little bit more of a breakaway opportunity for them, but you see that in the NHL a lot, and it's always scary.
Roderosio, he has to battle to get it out of his zone as Figueroa stayed right on top of him, and now Hughes will go pick it up. We're 4-on-4 for another minute, and then it'll be a little over 18 seconds worth of power play time for the Wolverines. And that's a very, very limited amount of time, but they have not yet scored on the power play this season in two-plus games now. Figueroa into the middle, nobody home, although that one directed a little bit by Duran, and Armas was almost right there to pick it up.
Eric, I don't know if you have noticed it, but one thing that I'm seeing right now is
now look out, roll off. He fires it over the crossbar.
an absolute size difference between this Damien Spartans team and the Wolverines. The Wolverines just seem small compared to some of these hulking Damien Spartans. Hulking, they're wearing green. That felt like it was appropriate.
Well done.
But, you know, nonetheless, this Inland Empire team has been able to stave off all these opportunities. A lot of shots on goal, a lot of block shots too, but it's still nothing on the scoreboard.
The other comparison you can draw is that the Spartans are wearing green and the Wolverines are in blue and gold. Yet it's not a college football game.
There you go.
Yeah. Out of the box came Tanner. This is technically a short-handed rush here by the Spartans as Burchett brought it in. Couple ticks left, and Legaska will be able to return to play. Here he comes. And shot by Brooks is blocked down. Picked up here by Yates. Sent around the wall on the near side. Leo tried to reach to gather it, but in front of the Spartan bench it went, and they bring it onside. This shot through traffic, knocked down by McDonald. He had a little trouble holding on to that one, but eventually did cover it up, and he stopped all 5 shots he's seen here in this opening period.
Yeah, it's the second or third time that McDonald's haven't had some sort of a little bobble or a ricochet that didn't look like maybe he was expecting it. So if I'm Damien, I'm drawing up a play that says, okay, crash the net and try to find one of those rebounds when you're putting the shot on goal. Because if you're able to get that chip, could find the back of the net.
Near side half wall, a little redirect in front by Burchett, right in the right place at the right time, but it deflected up and over. Calvin Ruggiero off the glass. It was too tall for Harris to try to knock down with a glove. Wolverines are offside here as Gallardo tried to hold the line, and then I don't want to say it's a cardinal sin, but it'll get you every time. The player carrying the puck into the zone goes parallel to the blue line, and the other player was anticipating you to just attack, and that causes offside. I would say 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, it's a communication thing, and that's something that some teams don't get down the entire season. It's still you don't know where your player's going, and just draw it up, throw a face-off on there.
Well, you bring up a good point, too. It's those little things that you clean up throughout the year, which separates the teams that are going to end up playing for a cup at the end of the year from the ones that will not be. Everybody gets to go to the postseason, but once you get there, it's those little things that make all the difference. Here's McCauley into the middle, just out of the reach of Calvin Ruggiero. And Carter Ochoa tries to play it off the half wall, but it came right back to Calvin. And hustle by Carter Ochoa, too, to try to push that one out amidst 3 Wolverines in the area. They get it right back, though, and throw it into the near side corner. Patel having a hard time getting up, and that allows McCauley to launch one up over the top of the net. And the Spartans will try to race back up the middle of their zone. Nobody to help, though. Bounces off some bodies, and they'll carry it to the offensive zone. Behind Legasca. Bounces around and comes out to center. Spartans offside. Ochoa was in the zone. His teammate didn't see him and just decided to keep on going.
You know, one of the Spartans' advantages here, besides the size, is their speed, but that worked a little too well there, going a little too quick, bringing it over the blue line. And like we said, it's a communication thing, it's a look-around thing, and a lot of these teams will hammer that out by the time we are ready to play for a Commissioner's Cup in this league.
That's right. And we will have a new champion in Division 3 this year. The Servite Friars, who won the last 2, will move up to D2 this year. And Rodoracio sends that one off of Armas in the middle. Bouncing puck in the middle. That over the far side as Harris picks up. This Wolverines team that was in Division 2 last year made it pretty far. They played all the way to the championship game against Central Cathedral before the Jets ultimately won the title. Yeah, well, a penalty here against Inland Empire United. And it'll be a high sticking call against the team in white. And the guilty party will be Brody Rodoracio.
Well, we talk about it all the time, but, you know, it does beg repeating probably every single year. This isn't like many sports that you see, especially professional sports, where, okay, a team can be good for 5-10 years in a row. These are 4-year turnarounds. And, you know, the ace that you might have had last year, well, unfortunately, he graduated and went to college, and he's not allowed to play on the team anymore. So it's a credit to these organizations that are able to keep winning and winning in this league, but it also shows you just how tough this league can be.
Calvin Ruggiero beats everybody to the punch in one-on-one shoots. He scores! 5-hole on Jacob Lamb, and Calvin Ruggiero gets the Wolverines on the board first with a short-handed goal, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, he finds the shorty here, and it was a beauty. Taking it all the way down in none other than breakaway fashion. Put his team up 1-0, and we've been talking about how the Wolverines really just need a break here. They've got to be able to get out of the zone. Well, they're able to do it with one less guy on the ice, and they've got the lead here now.
For Ruggiero, and I know you Inland Empire United fans already know this, I don't have to reiterate, but I will for everybody else watching out there. That is his 8th goal of the year, and this is their 3rd game.
Oh, is that all? It's a bummer he's not trying, you know?
He had 2 goals against Capistrano United in the opener. He had 5 goals against Central Cathedral in their last game about 12 days ago. This man is on fire.
You score 5 goals, somebody's buying pizza at the end, right? Like,
I'd agree.
Hat trick. Okay, you get a couple of hats tossed on the ice. Yay. 5 goals? I think it's a free meal.
Sounds like it. I don't know if they got to deal with anybody out in the Inland Empire, but might not be a bad idea to check that out. Although you might go out of business quickly because he keeps doing it. Legaska and McCauley get tangled up. McCauley went down awkwardly, but he gets back up. As this puck is brought ahead into the offensive zone, here's Tanner. So we'll bring it back from his own end and send it in off the half wall. Spartans will track it down back behind the net and send it around to the near side. Reversed, however, as they look for more room. Good stick work here and good skating ability for Damien. For Shager with some space. Can he get it to the backhand? He can, but isn't able to hook it enough to get it on target. Chopped up ahead. Now McCauley. He moves in. The backhand one toward the net. No problem for Lamb. That'll get him a save, but he's going to keep the play alive. Christian was about to stop the clock on your screen there and then got the better of it when he saw that puck get slid away by Lamb.
You know, no one knew that was going to be the case, and you had to bring it up. Just because I assumed he was going to freeze the puck.
Yeah, but the point of that was actually complimenting you.
That I didn't
stop.
stop
Do it. It means you're paying attention. You anticipate it to make sure the clock was accurate, and then it didn't happen, and you slowly backed away.
Okay, then.
Gutierrez in the middle. Therefore, Damien lost control of it, but his teammates got it back and pushed it to center. Down to the final 2:40 of this first period. Wolverines get a shorthanded goal.
Gotta mention, that was one heck of a kill for the Wolverines. Not only did they get that goal, but it was not a lot of time in Damien's offensive zone.
No, they were to our right most of the time. Yeah, that's absolutely a fact. Behind the net, Saliba looking for somewhere to go with it. Duran tried to backhand it toward the net, but it bounced just wide. 2 minutes left here in this first period. It's been quite the entertaining frame between these two teams. Only one goal on the board, and it was a short-handed goal, but other than that, both teams playing at a very high-intensity level.
And a lot of action, not a lot of stoppages.
No.
Granted, the first 3.5 minutes went by without one, but since then, a couple of penalties, and every once in a while a puck goes over the boards like that. But, you know.
This game has been entirely played between the face-off dots inside the zones.
Yep.
Once they get in between those circles, that's almost the end of any type of progress. Figueroa is going to get called for slashing here, and the Wolverines are going to go on a power play.
You know, Eric, I want to go back to something you said earlier. McCauley went into the boards very awkwardly.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it looked like he did the splits, got hit, and slammed me. I would be out 6 to 8 weeks with a lower body injury. That's all I'm saying.
Weeks.
Okay, listen, all right.
If it were me, you may never see me again.
That's a career ender. But these kids, man, they're able to take a lot of hits that you just can't imagine taking.
They get up and return to the game because they're hockey players. Ruggiero, this is John. Or excuse me, rather, that was Roloff in the middle. Excuse me. As that one gets sent away by the Spartans. And Roloff will go down to pick it up. He's got Liu down there to help. Keep an eye on Burchett. And Nolan, he can get crafty down there, especially on the penalty kill. Look at this. He intercepts the pass right at center. Comes across the blue line. He had Roloff leaning the wrong way, but kind of able to get his wits about himself and stay in front of that passing line. There's Luke Tanner. He loses control of it. Good stick work right at the blue line here with the Spartans moving it out of their zone. I haven't seen any players that were in the JV game play in this game, so both teams got to be pretty happy with that, I'd say.
Only you on the double dip tonight.
I'm the only one. Yeah. Saturday's going to be the real interesting thing. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Half a minute to go here in the first period. Here's John Ruggiero over on the far side. He'll carry it back behind McDonald, slam on the brakes, and turn back the other way. 40 seconds to go on the Figueroa slashing call. Ruggiero brings it in. He slashed across the hands, and this is going to be a 5-on-3 for half a minute. And I don't think think any of the Spartans know what happened there. Burchett wants to know what happened. I think it's going to be him who's the guilty party.
Well, I don't use this word a lot in this league. It was a pretty obvious slash. I mean, you're not allowed to make contact with the blade of your stick touching the guy's hands or arm. But nonetheless, Damien down one, now down two guys on the ice. And whether it's in this next 13 seconds or beyond.
Jarrow's shot blocked down right in the middle by Hughes. We're going to try one more time. Roderosio, that one off the mask of Lamb, but he made the stop. Bounces around in front. Spartans have it, and the period has come to a close. The horn does not work here at 5 Point Arena right now, so you're going to hear the whistles and maybe some attempt by the scorekeeper to get that horn. That was a good.
I think Damien might have had a chance for it.
Yeah, it's a little 8 seconds late. That's fine. Into the first here at 5 Point Arena. Inland Empire United with a 1-0 lead over Damien. You're watching the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League on CIH Media.
You'll get the edge when you do business with Pip Printing and Marketing Services in Santa Fe Springs. With products that vary from the smallest business card to as large as a roadside sign, Pip has the printing technology to get the job done for you. Make your brand more recognizable in any space and any place with Pip Printing in Santa Fe Springs. Mention the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League for 10% off your first purchase. Visit pip200.com or call 562-921-5188 today. That's pip200.com or call 562-921-5188 today.
Welcome back to the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League on CIH Media. We head to the second period here in Irvine. 1-0 Inland Empire United over Damien in a Varsity Division III matchup. My name is Eric Pesolano. That is Christian Hilton. And after one, we talked about it, Christian. High energy first period. Both teams look good, but just one goal, and it came on a shorthanded breakaway.
You know, I got to apologize to everyone. You gave me props for working the scoreboard. It did not say 1-0 Wolverines until right now. So if you didn't know, now you know. They do got 20 seconds left on a 5-on-3 too. I'll let you give me props and I'll take myself down. How about that?
That is a man of integrity, is what that is right there, folks. Here's John Ruggiero. Like Christian said with his team, a 5-on-3 advantage for another couple of ticks here. Roloff, his shot goes off the stick of Harris, the defender. Slapped that, not out. Good stick by Caden Roloff. Figueroa out of the box. Another minute 20 to go on the power play after the Burchett slash. Poked at by Roloff, but Harris comes from behind and knock it away.
A little bit more physical all of a sudden. And Damien using their size to knock these Wolverines off the puck. You need to do that on this penalty kill, especially on a long penalty kill. Granted, you had a little bit of a breather, but need to be able to get an opportunity here.
Ochoa with a turnover in front. There's a save. Rebound, McDonald. He stayed in front and knocked that away, too. 7-7 in this game now. Those being the first two shots he faces here in the second period. A couple of shorthanded opportunities as well. Calvin Ruggiero tries to drag it around the paddle lamb. Nowhere to go, and Jacobs got his 5th stop in 6 tries tonight. Turned over. Oh, Shaw rung it off the post. As Collender turned it over right in front. Spartans go to work here. Down a man for another quarter of a minute. It gets by the point man and Patel. And while not ideal, they'll take that kills off a lot more time in this power play. As a matter of fact, it is over.
I tell you, that puck was squared up on that post because you didn't hear it.
Yeah.
And that is, it's hit hard and it is hit squared on if you're not hearing that very much.
I always love the fact that two round objects could collide and it's squared up.
All right, then. Thanks, Mr. Geometry.
You're
Is it
welcome.
Geometry? I don't know.
Yeah. Shapes, yeah.
Yeah.
Saliba will take the draw. He's ready to go. Waiting for an opponent. Now, Spartans send in a representative. Bounces in the middle of the zone. Roderocio reaching for it, out of the reach of everybody. This one is on net, and McDonald will cover.
Fans might notice at the, I guess it's the west end of the building. No, not even close. It's not north.
North end of the building.
It's not, no, north is behind us.
No.
Mountains are that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Might notice the seats are folded. You don't see it a lot. They've been doing a lot of work here in the building. But remember, this building was designed to be able to hold concerts and stuff like that. I don't think they've done that yet. But interesting to see it all folded up.
I don't think I've seen it like that yet.
It's
not in person. Anyway.
yeah. Little NHL franchise had a media day here earlier this week.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Heard about that. Showa. Now launch one maybe. It's blocked by Roderocio. Showa. Looking for somewhere to go with it. Here's Hughes. He sends it through traffic. That one's blocked down. Showa again, this time over the top. Around the near side wall. Spartans still keep the play alive. Here comes a shot off the goaltender, off the post, and here to the near side it goes. McDonald just gets a piece. And that is a massive save for the Wolverine goaltender who keeps his team out in front by a goal.
And it just seems like Damien can't figure out a way to get behind him. They've dominated puck possession, at least at the beginning of the game. They've been able to get shots on goal. They just can't figure them out. And even when there's rebound opportunities, he's been solid. And yeah, he kicked that one away right into the post, and the game continued on. But he is doing well in net.
Knocked down. Good job staying in front by Roloff. Can he beat Harris? He can. Can he beat the goaltender? He cannot. As that one was kicked away by Lamb.
You got to remember, the only goal we have was a breakaway goal. It was shorthanded, but seeing a breakaway like that, you think, oh man, might get another one.
Penalty behind the net. It's going to go against the Spartans. There was a collision back behind the goaltenders. This one is knocked up and out of play. We'll get a whistle. It is a high sticking call. At least I thought it was going to be against the Spartans. When the Wolverines had possession and cleared it down the ice, there was no whistle. Yeah, that is the case. Gutierrez will go to the box here for 2 minutes. Fourth, Damien penalty.
And it's not helping their cause in being able to figure out this Inland Empire Wolverines defense and the goaltender, and you got to stay out of the box. It's going to cost you. And well, I mean, it hasn't so far. Actually, the worst thing is when they got somebody else in the box at this point. But Damien's going to have to stay out of the box if they want to be able to continue the pressure on these Wolverines who already have a shorthanded goal.
Near side wall it came and then moved to the middle. Figueroa off his stick. John Ruggiero gets there first. As the Wolverines try to turn back up ice with another minute and a half left on this power play. That one goes off the stick of McCauley, and the Spartans just sent it back from whence it came. Spartans will get some changes. John Ruggiero sends it deep. Patel, now Hughes. Patel got run down by Flanders behind the play. push it up and out. He needs some help from Legasca, but Ruggiero giving him fits, and that one up over the head of Colliner with just a quarter of a minute to go here on the man advantage. Around the wall, Ruggiero. And one away from Lamb, bounces to the corner. 5 seconds left. And Gutierrez can return. Back to 5-on-5. Legasca with a nice move. It's got 2 against 2 moving in. Forshager off the bench makes 3-on-2. Tried to drag it in front, hit the skate of a defender. Spartans are offside. Nobody saw Legasca deep in the zone. We'll get a whistle. 10:51 to play, middle period, 1-0 Inland Empire United.
Well, and on that penalty kill, Damien played a very good neutral zone game and being able to break opportunities up every once in a while. It escaped into the defensive zone, but overall, a very good penalty kill for them. Now they've got to kind of bounce on that momentum, try to find the back of the net here.
Harris with an outlet that goes off the wall. And Saliba first to get to it. Trying to split a couple of Spartans. It didn't work. Forshager got control of it. They'll spin it back to the point. Now into the middle. That one redirects off a stick or two. This one goes out of play. 10-11 to go here in the middle period. I want to say a big shout out to all of you tuning in here tonight on CIH Media. We know these two teams travel from quite the distance to get out here to this one. And we understand it might be tough to drive all the way out here after work on a Thursday night. So thanks for joining us, for those of you Spartan and Wolverine fans watching from afar. We got a pretty good show to this point, that's for sure. Forshager to the point, the shot comes through, redirected by Hodgson, but off target. Sent around near side. And eventually corralled by the Spartans as they try to regroup with Forshager. Icing call here against the Wolverines. 9.5 to go in period 2.
Fans, a reminder, find the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and even ADHSHL.com for all the updates, live scores on the website, of course, like Eric was talking about earlier. But also lots of news and notes on the social media pages, so make sure you find them all. Like, follow, share, subscribe, whatever the other words are nowadays in social media land. Of course, do all the same for CIH Media as well. And become a premium member.
What a sales.
I think I dotted all the I's and crossed the T's there.
That's all we ask. That's really all we
I don't know what else we can pitch there.
John Ruggiero. Along the near side wall. This one goes up onto the bench. That almost came up into the stands right in front of the press box here.
Landed right in that beyond the boards location.
Yeah. The Chuck Lasik Memorial. I don't know what you call it.
I don't think you call it memorial. Chuck Lasik is not gone.
I know.
Congrats, Chuck. Eric killed you off on this episode of Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League on CIH.
I would say that about myself too. I always, whenever you name something after somebody, it always says
Memorial.
for no reason. Saliba up ahead. That one gets by McCauley, and he set it up the slot. This shot comes through, and that one's over the top of everybody. Another one that comes in. I don't know if that got all the way to McDonald, but Legasca down there trying to get it toward the cage. Legasca in front. Ochoa shoots. That one turned aside. Front by Carson McDonald. Another redirection through traffic that he's able to knock away. Now stop 5 shots in each of the first 2 periods.
Yeah, McDonald had to get ready there. Costly turnover, at least it could have been costly, behind the net, but quickly able to make the adjustment, make the save, and then make another later. Still pitching that shutout.
Who's with it? Sent it over to Patel here on the near side. Intercepted at center ice by Caden Roloff. Roloff had it taken away from behind by Kingston Dew, and here he comes into the offensive zone. He's had quite a nice night in open ice, weaving his way through traffic, trying to set up some plays. He'll get it again here over in front of the scorer's box. And that was onside. He left it behind himself, but it was still inside the zone. Tries to send it up, maybe looking for a carom off a body. Roloff knocks it down, and Tanner will send it for icing. Take a look at our schedule tomorrow night here on CIH Media. We'll get things started at 5 o'clock. Faith Lutheran is back in town. It's a JV game against St. John Bosco. Fairmont St. Mary's Division I matchup at 6:30 over on CIH2. Go back to CIH1 for Damien and St. John Bosco at Division I, and then a Varsity Division II battle at 8:40 back on CIH2. Faith Lutheran takes on Capistrano United, a quadruple header on a Friday night here in Irvine. And yours truly gets to rest his pipes for a day before our big Saturday coming up. Real big Saturday, Mr. Hilton. We're going to have 9 games.
And I'm not there for any
Between
of them.
2 leagues, and no, you are not.
Sorry.
Icing call again here against the Wolverines. Let's talk about Saturday a little bit. We got 6 games in the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League on Saturday. 3 games in the LA Kings High School Hockey League. Caleb Tessitore and Michael Alexander, 2 of our fine colleagues here at CIH Media, gonna try to pull off the impossible, Christian. They're gonna be in Burbank at Pickwick Heights for West Ranch and Burbank at 4:10. When that game is over, they are going to hustle to Simi Isoplex at 7:15 for El Segundo against Ventura County. Godspeed, gentlemen. Hopefully you make it on time. I'm sure there will be no traffic in Los Angeles whatsoever. Should be fine.
Is Los Angeles known for traffic?
I heard some things. Here's a backhand try in front by Calvin Ruggiero and Lantern to the side. I'm sure some of you were thinking, well, why would you schedule them to do that? It's because everybody else on the planet is working all the other games on Saturday. We're trying to wedge in as much games as we can for you here on the network.
Except for Christian. Anyway.
Well, you know. Maybe another day. So you're putting your dues in here tonight and tomorrow.
I'm trying.
Here's Armas. He weaves his way and got a man in front. That pass jumped up on Horshager a little bit. Wasn't able to get to it. I got to tell you, Christian, I see that jersey number 81 with the Horshager on the back. I don't think that's who that is. That name does not exist on the roster we have. And it could be, I don't know who.
I'll let you play that who it could be game. That's always fun.
Well, number 3 is Connor McKenzie. We figured that out. The no number there is Kingston Dew. He normally wears 44. It's on his helmet, but not on his jersey. After that, I've called everybody else's name.
Well then.
Maybe is it Caden Crandall? It could be Caden Crandall. He's listed on there as number 29. There is not that on the ice here tonight as McDonald makes another save. So I, by the process of elimination and deductive reasoning,
And just a guess.
and a general overall hypothesis, that Caden Crandall is wearing number 81 for Damien.
Glad you were able to get there.
Thanks. That's why I went to college. Just for that reason.
An educated guess. Why not?
Patel back in his own zone. We're under 5 minutes to go here in this second period. One heck of a contest between Damien and Inland Empire United tonight. We got to hear is Yates wants to lift one, and McDonald will have none of it. He stopped all 7 this period, all 12 he's seen tonight. Make that 13 for 13 and 8 for 8 in this period. Collender looking for somewhere to go with it. It's got a few teammates in front. It goes off the Hughes' skate though. Saliba tracks it down after Flanders pushes to the corner. That that one into the back of the net. Lamb thought about reaching for it. Instead, it'll protect the net. Good instincts there as Cullender flicks through a line of traffic. It's off target. Lamb never saw it. Collinder's offside here. Two of his teammates already in the zone. He couldn't hold the blue line. We'll get a whistle with 4 1/4 minutes left.
I'll tell you, one of the most shocking things, at least in my mind, with all the action we've had tonight, it's still only the second period. I feel like we've seen more action in this game than we've seen in some full-length games. These teams are just going at it. It's been high-paced the entire time, neither letting up, and boy, we're getting a good one.
Shots are 13-8 right now in favor of Damien as they trail on the scoreboard. And a nice night for Carson McDonald and the Wolverines.
That might even be a bigger shock.
Yeah, a little tip here in front by Lagaska, and McDonald is able to pounce on top of that one as well.
That shock being that there haven't been that many shots, at least recorded on goal. A lot of block shots, a lot of, like you said earlier, a lot of between the dots kind of play going on. But boy, these players are, I would say, earning their paychecks, but they're not getting paychecks. So
they're not. No. That would be illegal.
Yeah.
Although who knows with NIL anymore.
Not saying it hasn't happened. I'm just saying it would be illegal.
Icing call against the Wolverines. 3:43 to go on Saturday. This is what the lineup looks like. We start at 9 a.m. with Olu and St. Mary's D1 matchup. Faith Lutheran Santa Margarita at 1:40 p.m. At 2:10, Faith Lutheran Villa Park JV. 4 o'clock West Ranch Burbank. 5 Santa Barbara South Bay. 6:30 St. Mary's J. Sarah. 7:15 El Segundo Ventura County. I actually missed one in there at 6:20. Pacific Ridge takes on Orange Lutheran. And then at 8:40 Los Alamitos and Faith Lutheran Varsity D2. And that wraps up our 9-game slate on Saturday.
Now, to help with the chaos of that schedule, how many rinks are being broadcast on in that crazy chaos?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Not buildings, rinks.
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 4. Somehow that all got squeezed into 4 rings. We got an offside call here against the Spartans. So Olu and St. Mary's and Faith Lutheran and Santa Margarita, our first 2 games on the docket. One is on 5 Point Arena, one is on ring 3. So there's 2 right there. All the other Ducks League games, with the exception of one, will be here in this building. I'm sorry, the Faith Lutheran Villa Park game at 2 o'clock is in this building. The Faith Lutheran Santa Margarita game at 1:40 p.m. is actually at Lakewood Ice, as is the Santa Barbara South Bay game in the LA Kings High School Hockey League. We'll have Brian Flores calling both of those games from Lakewood for us, which might be a first to have the same crew call 2 games in 2 different leagues, same rink, but 2 different sheets of ice. Because the first game's on Lakewood B and the second one's on Lakewood A.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, we're all over the place on Saturday.
That's unfortunate for Brian.
I need a map. Yeah.
Got to move around.
Cullender through traffic, and that one knocked down by Hughes.
At least that change isn't happening in the middle of the game when they decide that one sheet of ice is not good enough and they have to switch to the other side.
Once you think we've seen it all.
We've had some fun, haven't we?
I was telling that to Allie K earlier today. We have a slogan here. Once you think you've seen it all, you've seen nothing. Here's Crandall who moves in as he battles with a couple of Wolverines. I think we're going to get another slashing call here. We'll see. As he weaved his way through traffic, yeah, that's it. And Duran is going to go sit down for 2 minutes. So Damien power play here. They're down a goal late in the second.
Yeah, they need this, but unfortunately for them, Eric, Inland Empire's only goal came on a penalty kill, so we'll see if they're able to get the same kind of magic rolling here. Right now, I'm just saying it's good to be down a man if you're Inland Empire.
Certainly could be. Worked out nice for Calvin Ruggiero earlier. Wolverines got off to a nice start, sent it all the way down the ice. The goal, by the way, was unassisted for Ruggiero back in the first period. try roll-off. They'll just track it in the corner with Samuel Shoa bearing down on him. And this one cleared out all the way down the ice. And McKenzie there to pick it up. Shoa nearly gave that right to Flanders in front of his own net. Instead, he'll turn on the Jets. He's got him by a step, and Calvin Ruggiero moves over to help stop progress, and here he is with the puck again, shorthanded. McKenzie's trying to keep it away from 39 and White. They'll just cycle it underneath and kill some more time. 51 seconds left in the period. 55 to go in the penalty. Legasca and Rodoracio racing after it. Legasca, good footwork down in the corner to get it up here to Burchett. Burchett, all good stick work. Shoots, lifts it too high. Now the final half minute of the frame. Remember, Varsity Division 3 game, no ice cut here at this level, so stick around. The intermission will take a minute. McKenzie launches wide in traffic. In front, try to get a pass away to Hodgson, but the Wolverines get to it, clear it down the length of the ice, and that may just be it for the period. 2 seconds and 1, and Burchett just going to launch, but he'll get it to his teammate just in front of the penalty box, but it won't much matter. Nothing doing in that second period. We stay where we're at after 1, and after 34 minutes, it's Inland Empire United 1, Damien nothing, as you're watching the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League on CIH Media.
You'll get the edge when you do business with Pip Printing and Marketing Services in Santa Fe Springs. With products that vary from as small as a business card to as large as a roadside sign, Pip has the printing technology to get the job done for you. Make your brand more recognizable in any space and any place with Pip Printing in Santa Fe Springs. Mention the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League for 10% off your first purchase. Visit pip200.com or call 562-921-5188 today. That's pip200.com or call 562-921-5188 today.
And welcome back to the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League here on CIH Media. We go to the third period in Irvine. Inland Empire United with a 1-0 lead over the Damien Spartans, and they are shorthanded for another 5 seconds. They scored their only goal tonight. Shorthanded, as a matter of fact, off the stick of Calvin Ruggiero. My name is Eric Pesolano. That's Christian Hilton. It's been a fun night here at 5 Point Arena with these two teams giving us a show through the first 34 minutes.
I have no idea why Durant sat down on the penalty bench.
Couldn't tell you.
If I was him, I would have told the ref to keep the door open.
Well, he's out of the box now. We're back to 5-on-5 as we begin this third period.
I'll tell you, Eric, Damien really needs to get back to what they were doing in the first period, where they're putting shots on net and then trying to find a rebound. That's the one thing they weren't doing, was capitalizing on the rebounds that were coming off of McDonald. And he was letting some pop, and you're getting a little bit too much of a, I guess, point-blank shots now, when what they were doing, shooting from the point, shooting from distance, was working. Just got to maybe find a guy on the back door to sneak around, whatever it might be, but they need to figure out something quick, because still a goose egg on that scoreboard.
They've had their opportunities. They're out shooting the Wolverines 14-8 through 2 periods. So they're going to kick for
So we lost a second on the clock and gained a face-off.
Wow.
There you go.
Like last night during the Irvine United, Capistrano United D3 game when the scorekeeper decided that starting the clock wasn't a priority on several occasions.
No.
And nobody
Oh,
noticed.
man.
There was one point where the clock did not move for 47 seconds.
Wow. Nice to get a good 65 minutes of hockey in at the high school level.
And of course the game started at like 8:15, right? So not like it was an early one.
Uh-huh. You guys got out and could order breakfast at the local fast food joint.
That doesn't sound like a bad idea once I get out of here tonight.
I'm just saying.
I had to skip dinner. I had to call both these games. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You know?
I thought you were asking what I was going to do for dinner. I was like, well, we can talk about it. But anyway, back to the action here.
Sander gloves it down. And that one went off a Spartan, so no hand pass. There's a shot by Ruggiero, and he just missed the net. Dew picking it up here in his own zone. Kingston, oh, he's got Yates all by his lonesome. Collender trying to catch up. He can't, but a save by McDonald anyway. And the Wolverine netminder. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not entirely sure I care what the final score is going to be. I think Carson's going to hear his name at the end of the broadcast.
He's playing a great game.
Icing call here against the Wolverines.
And that was not an easy play for him either, but he was able to stay with it. Granted, that little breakaway had a little bit of defensive laundry, but boy, lately it has been all the McDonald show, which sounds like something that would have aired in the 70s. But anyway,
bouncing puck at the Wolverine blue line. This play is offside, and Dew touched it. So we will get the offside call here. 2:27 into this third and final frame of regulation. Tell. Sending it around the wall. Show up. Trying to come help. And oh, that shot just after the whistle. And Duke put it right off the mask of McDonald. Holy smokes. I think it was a penalty on that play against the Wolverines too. They're going to get Ruggiero here.
it's going to be for interference, which he was kind of getting some. There's a little bit of physicality going on behind the net. And that's actually, I think, it might have been with the penalty, but right after a player was pushed into the net started toppling towards the goaltender. It's right about when the whistle was blown, and now Damien on a much-needed power play here could tie this thing up.
And right off the bat, a save for McDonald. Off the paddle. Here's Kingston Dew. Harris up top. He's going to let it go through traffic. Looked like it skipped off the hand of John Ruggiero. It bounces in front off the side of the net. Harris up top. Keeps that one ice level. Oh, Cho out of the air. Bats it clean, but into the corner. Heck of a swing there. The 66ers could use him later on in the year. Or I guess the Quakes are probably closer to Damien, huh? Yeah.
Had to bring it up, didn't you?
Hey, I talk California League baseball all day long, my friend. How about those 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm?
Not happy about it.
That's right.
Should have been the 66ers.
Well, it wasn't.
It's all right. We're working on Double-A.
I was a season ticket holder for the Storm for the first 2 years of existence. You know that? I grew up out there. Go Storm. Congratulations, boys.
My brother got to catch a first pitch this year
That's cool.
at the Storm game.
Oh, yeah.
Except he didn't catch it because the guy airmailed him. He got the chase. He got the chase first.
Against around the near side. Here's Calvin Ruggiero picks it up another half a minute to go. On the Calvin, oh, I'm sorry. The penalty was not on Ruggiero. It was actually on Roloff. I thought they were calling 39 over. They called 19 over. Ochoa. He's going to whip one. It goes off the inboards and into the back of the net. Moves it around to the point. McKenzie shot blocked down by Collender. McKenzie will track it down again. Off the skates, in between traffic. Wolverines get to it, flip it up, and out. Couple ticks to go. And roll off is back on the surface. McKenzie into the middle. Armas tries to spin around and get a shot away. Can't, comes back to him, and he scores! Boy, if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. Andrew Armas finds the puck on his tape, and he whips it by McDonald. That's a 5-on-5 goal, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, don't go anywhere quite yet, Eric, because we got ourselves a tie game. Damien finally able to break through. Felt like it wasn't going to happen because they tried and tried, but finally prevail. Tie the game up with 12 minutes and 11 ticks left. We got ourselves a hockey game.
And maybe an extra 5 minutes and then some if we need it. The JV teams were tied at 1 in the third period as well before the Spartans roll off 5 in a row to win 6-1. I don't foresee that happening here in this one.
If we see 5 goals before the end of the regulation on one side.
I'll pull a Chuck Lasik a la the 2012 All-Star game.
And walk out.
And just leave.
Come back with popcorn and a half-eaten jumbo pretzel.
Poor guy's not even here to defend himself.
You killed him earlier, so I don't know. You already memorialized him.
He loves it. I've heard him talk about me on the air when I'm not around.
No, that's not good.
We've known each other for over 14 years now. And this is the 15th season of the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League. Roll off. Cannot get by Soren Patel. They do get it up ahead to Caden Crandall, however. Crandall's got the number 29 on his helmet, so that now confirms it for me. We got a penalty coming up here, and this is going to go against the Spartans. It is an elbowing call. They're not uncommon, but they are a little bit more rare than a lot of others.
You say against the Spartans?
I thought so. Is it not?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, it was.
The Wolverines.
Yeah.
And it was along the near side boards, and it's roll off again. He's got back-to-back calls here.
Jumping that parade.
Power play number 5 coming up for Damien. They're 0 for 4. That last goal they scored was a few ticks after the penalty expired. Legaska got a little bit of space, but didn't want to pull the trigger with Collender right on top of him. McKenzie, he will. Hits Collender. Oh, came to Sammy Ochoa. Net was open, but it hopped on him over his stick. Hughes through traffic, save. McDonald there for a rebound, Legaska, but he couldn't settle. And Brooks clears.
I know that's one where Ochoa's trying to time it and let it sit on the ice so that he can kind of take a wrist shot, but I don't know, man. Again, I've never.
Oh, look at Dew in front. Oh, but he couldn't get to the backhand. McDonald might have gotten to it anyway, stretching out on the left pad.
I was going to say, I've never played hockey before, but if I'm Ochoa, I am winding up and trying to time that and hit that thing as hard as I can.
McKenzie, 1 against 1. He's got a man in front. That one off the shoulder. Maybe it ticked a mask of McDonald and goes up out of play.
McDonald standing tall once again. Just the one got through, but it's been a heck of a game. Scoreboard says 16-6. I don't know what your official count is because I've stopped trying to read your handwriting. But
I have 19-8.
Regardless, it's been lopsided.
Barnes win the draw with Hodgson working around to Burchett. Can't get it through traffic. And it's tracked down by Gutierrez in the corner. Now Hodgson again.
I also said read your handwriting. It's all X's and circles.
If you can't tell the difference, we have an issue.
Well. Is what it is.
Harris goes underneath, and Gutierrez overskated it. Here's John Ruggiero. Calvin right at the blue line next to him, but Yates muscles it away. beats Collender, shoots up top. McDonald a save. Bounces free between the face-off circles. Burchett gets a stick on it. That prevents an icing momentarily. And he will settle it back for Sean Harris. Gets it in. The 4 Spartans along the blue line, and now Collender sends it, and this is cleared away. It's still 5 seconds left on the penalty to roll off. He's out of the box. We're back to even. 9:05 to go. Spartans and Wolverines all tied up in a goal apiece. Calvin Ruggiero shorthanded in the first period. Andrew Armas 5-on-5 here in the third. Yates circles around his defensive zone. Beats Gallardo. Can't get by Collender. He was able to knock that one down quite well and get rid of it. Collender has had a heck of a end of second, beginning of third period defensively for these Wolverines. He's broken up just everything that's come his way in the middle. Here's Figueroa. Haven't heard from him in a while. As he tries to go pick it up back behind the net, he's knocked down. Has to get back up. Spartans keep the zone. Here's Yates with a shot. Big pad saved by McDonald. Into the middle, McCauley has it. 7 Spartan shots this period. Wolverines don't have any. As we're down to the final 8 minutes.
Well, that was one thing we talked about, was Damien really needed to get back to the whole put the puck on net thing, and they were able to find one, but keeping the other team from doing it, it's going to help.
A little tap ahead there. Figueroa to Yates. Yates got some speed. He's been showcasing it all night to the backhand. Oh, a blocker save as McDonald had to reach back to his right.
Yeah, mark that down. Top 10 save of the night, and keeping the game tied here.
Crandall across the blue line. He shoots it wide. Round to the near wall. Left it for Harris. Off a body. Boy, Roderosio almost had that deflect into a bad space for the Wolverines, but no harm done. Over on the far half wall, Crandall pulls it away. But then Roderosio got it back from behind. Now he's hit by Duran. Roderosio trying to push it out. Ruggiero will tip over here to the near side. Flanders helps push it up into the Damien zone. Lamb keeping a watchful eye as it comes in the middle. McKenzie fell down. Brooks tries to spin it to the far post, but he missed. Flanders underneath, past Ruggiero. That was Calvin. And here's Sean Harris now for the Spartans. Let's see if anybody breaks here in the final 6.5 minutes. The way this game has been played, it almost feels like the next one's going to win it. But you never know in this league. Look out front, Crandall! Backhands one home! Oh, he went with that first move to get McDonald to bite. And a beautiful pass from Ochoa to find him as well. And the Spartans have their first lead. It's 2-1.
Crandall able to get this thing past McDonald. It takes that mind game, that deke, to do it. And they find themselves with a lead for the first time with just 6:11 left on the clock here in the third.
Boy, that little move in front to make it look like he was going to pull the trigger got McDonald a bite. He pulled it back to the body and just flipped it with a backhand past the Wolverine netminder. And the Spartans scored twice in exactly 6 minutes to take their first lead. Burchett in between a lot of defenders in the middle and too hot for Legaska to handle. He was in front all by himself. He scores! A great look in the middle as Legaska was able to find Hughes. He had nobody around him, and McDonald left hung out to dry. Figueroa in to help as well. It's 3-1 Damien.
Boy, they find a hole, and then all of a sudden, The water is aflow, and they're able to figure this thing out and now have 3. It's 1-0 to enter the period, but Damien firing on all cylinders now.
Play on side with Figueroa towing the line. Legasca bringing it in. The Wolverines now have to go to work with only 5.5 minutes to try to find a pair. Roll off. Oh, they turn it over in front. That one off the crossbar for Burchett. You could hear that one all the way up here. Battle on the near half wall. Comes out. A race for the puck on the near side. Patel gets there first, beating Tanner.
Patel putting on the speed there. You saw Tanner go right into the boards when he was trying to hit him.
Gutierrez off his stick tried to push into the middle for Hodgson. McKenzie gets run over from behind by Tanner. Bodies banging together just inside the Wolverine zone here as Gutierrez works hard in the corner. McCauley trying to get it out. He'll stay on the blue line. He gets some help from John Ruggiero. Then Hodgson comes in with a shoulder-to-shoulder hit on 43 in white. Gutierrez still over there in the fray, sweeps it into the offensive zone. 4.25 minutes to play, third period. Another man left alone in front, and Gutierrez is turned aside by McDonald. Boy, they had been so good in the middle defensively all night in these last couple of goals. The green sweaters have just been left to their own devices and took advantage of it both times. That third time, however, McDonald able to stay in there and knock it away. Duran. Underneath, Harris takes it back for the Spartans. It'll go off the half wall. Gutierrez can't get it out. And we've got a penalty, and now a little bit of shoving, and then Yates goes down. We might get one both ways here. We'll see. Yates got drilled, but then he got up and gave it back to Ruggiero. So matching penalties here for the two teams forwards, and the discussion for the officials after this one.
Well, and Eric, we talked about it at the beginning of the game where it felt like Damien just had possession most of the time, and now they've been able to find a lead, and they've come back to just holding the puck, playing in their zone as much as they can, and Wolverines struggling to find the puck in general, let alone get a shot off, and now we'll see what this penalty leads to, because usually when there's a discussion, it's a little bit more than what we currently know.
You don't always see all four officials having a discussion. So this is a different type of situation here. And this is going to be one of those times where the referee will speak to the scorekeeper about the penalty. And I think, well, let's see it. The Wolverines might get an extra one here if they're moving this face-off all the way down to the right of McDonald. And yeah, Tanner's going to come sit down too. So an extra minor penalty sent the way of the Wolverines. I don't necessarily know that it's against Tanner, though. Or is he just serving the extra 2 minutes here? We're not entirely sure.
Might be misconduct and a misconduct, then a 2 on that side. Guess we'll have to wait for the score sheet to let us know. But yeah, that is you mentioned it. You don't often see the four officials come together, have a conversation, and one of the linesmen and one of the refs came over to the bench. So
that second penalty is not against Tanner. Ruggiero has been called for roughing, and he has been called for checking from behind. And there's one that finds a way through also. His Sammy Ochoa has his first of the night. Damien has broken it open. It's 4-1 with 3:22 to go. It's a power play goal. Their first of the night. And it's 4-1.
Remember that thing I said?
My headset is halfway off, my friend.
There's definitely not going to happen where one team scores 4 or 5 goals. Oh, boy.
So Tanner out of the box because that extra 2-minute portion is now over. Yates was given a head contact penalty, so he was given a 2 and a 10 as well.
Big collision out in front of the net there. Ochoa came together with 59 on our Inland Empire, and boy, might see things get a little out of hand, a little more physical here. Frustration's going to boil over if they aren't careful. You talk about frustrating, Eric. I mean, to be in the lead the entire night, goaltending was solid. Then, a leak springs, and here they come again.
2-on-1 in front. Ochoa whiffs on that shot attempt and then takes a bump from John Ruggiero. We'll get a whistle with 2:32 to go, and the Spartans now in control of this one, up by 3.
Boy, you don't see that a lot. Wholesale change for both sides. 10 guys swap out. Officials get the puck back from the fans. We're ready to go here. But, I mean, you talk about just letting it. It's another one here. The air being deflated out of the tires of this Inland Empire team. Had the lead. Everything looked like, you were pointing towards victory. And then, like I said, that leak springs, and then you find yourself on the side of the 5, calling a tow truck. I was going to say a company name, but I wasn't going to.
I got you.
Give somebody some free advertisement.
Yeah, I'm going to repeat the first letter of the alphabet 3 times.
All right, then.
Mackenzie.
I was going to say Bob's Towing, but
all right. My bad. Roderocio taken away by Crandall. Legasca still going hard in the middle as Flanders sends it around the wall. Harris looking for it. And Ian Brooks a little 2-step around the puck. It comes right to Crandall who launches it into the chest of McDonald. And another penalty. I think they're going to get Burchett here.
You want to talk about a point-blank shot. Doesn't get more point-blank than that. And Burchett, like you said, heading to the box now, not happy about it. All intensive purposes, his night's basically done. But give Inland Empire an opportunity here. I'm not saying it's impossible. There is a chance, but 3 goals in $1.44 is a pretty hefty hill in this league.
Special teams getting a workout here in this one. This is the 11th power play of the game, the 5th for the Wolverines. Now in the final 95 seconds, this one is tapped away by Lamb. Tell's just going to launch it and get rid of it. Kill off the power play, win the game for Damien. Try to get in the win column for the first time this season. Collender across the blue line. Somehow he held on to that between 3 Spartans. Sends it in front. It's not too strong for Soren Patel to handle and clear the ice with. Right on target, too. That's a shot on goal. 14 of them this period for the Spartans. They've scored 4 times, and McDonald will cover it up with 58 seconds left.
Fans, a reminder, watch this game anytime with a premium subscription to CIH Media. Go to the homepage or whatever page you access the premium membership portal on, and
CIH-media.com/premium.
well, you can also do that. So there's also a link somewhere.
Well, yeah, there is.
You don't have to type it into the URL browser. Anyway, in the URL bar. I don't know what that's called anymore. I change it all the time. Anyway, just become a premium member, and then you don't have to worry. Actually, you can watch me babble on about this as many times as you want.
with Saliba. Gallardo gets bumped down by Patel. Saliba didn't like it, trying to give Patel a shot here with 25 seconds to go. Gallardo across the blue line. This one's cleared all the way down, and I think that's going to be it. Spartans get all 4 of their goals in this third period to win it 4-1 over Inland Empire United. We're going to step aside. We'll bring the totals to you in just a moment. You're watching the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League on CIH Media. Welcome back to the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League here on CIH Media. Damien takes down Inland Empire United 4-1 for their first win of the year. Let's get you these final stats. In this one, shots on goal by period for the Wolverines 5-3-0 for a total of 8. Damien 5-9-14 for a total of 28. Wolverines scored their only goal in the first. Damien scored all 4 of theirs in the third. Power plays 1 of 6 for Damien, 0 of 5 for the IEU. Added up, 4-1 win for the Spartans. First 3 points in the win column this year. They got 4 points overall. They lost in a shootout last week, so they'll take that. 3 stars of the game. We'll start off with number 3. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I mentioned it just a moment ago. No shots in the third period for Inland Empire United. The third star of the game is Damien's entire defensive unit. They did not let anything get by the blue line for much of that period. Yeah, I know offense was a big part of it, but that defense really didn't let them have any good looks at anything that entire third period. They're a third star of the game. Second star of the game, he got the scoring started here tonight. He's got some speed, let me tell you. Calvin Ruggiero with that shorthanded goal in the first period is our second star of the game, and our number 1 star tonight with 2 points, had a goal and an assist, wrapped it up with a power play goal in the end, but really he was a force all night long trying to break things open. That's Sammy Ochoa. He's our number 1 star of the game here tonight on CIH Media. Join us tomorrow night, a quadruple header of action. We'll have 2 games on CIH1, 2 games on CIH2. The games on CIH1 will begin at 5 o'clock, and on CIH2 we start things at 6:30. Stick around for all the action. Of course, we have 9 games for you on Saturday as well, so big weekend for us here on the network. Special thanks, as always, to the Commissioner, Matt Blanchard, to the Vice President of the Rinks System, that's Art Trottier. My partner, Christian Ilton, my name is Eric Pasolano, saying so long from 5 Point Arena in Irvine. The Damien Spartans pick up their first win of the season in Varsity Division 3. They take down Inland Empire United by a final count of 4-1. You've been watching the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League here on